With nothing to live for, drinking became his habit. Before this, Tom had a promising future. His career in the psychology field was just picking up. He had met a Chinese girlfriend and was set to marry her. They loved each other, and her being his first love, he was sure it would work. Unfortunately, that would not be the case. Tom was heartbroken when the parents told their daughter they would not let her marry to a monkey. As luck would have it, he found love again, this time round in church. That will not end well. His would have been wife ended up marrying their pastor in what he saw as the greatest betrayal of all time. At that point, he sought refuge from booze, the only loyal thing that will never turn his back on him.
Tragedy after tragedy.
Seriously?
Now, the love of your life, your first love of your life, the first tester, Korean, dating for 2 years, then the parents disagree,
Yes.
then you guys part ways. Now, the second one, the pastor's wife dies, na bomb blast, and then the pastor has to like remarry.
Yes.
And which option does he go for? Your girlfriend.
Yes.
So you're left with no girlfriend.
Yes.
Now the love of your life now, Esther, also dies.
So,
Quite a sad story.
After this, okay. So after the last Esther died, so I've not married again. So I'm still single.
Do you believe in love? Do you believe in love?
Yes. Love is true. Love is real. I believe in love, but you see, there's nothing you can do about the happenings. You know, you just have to accept and move on with your life. You can't just continue, disagreeing and complaining and maybe asking God why these things happen only to me. They happen to everybody, not only me. they happen to everybody. So yes, I have to accept and continue.
How old are you?
Very, very old. I'm 45. I'm 45. I was born 1976. So I'm about 45 or 46 there. I'm old.
Do you have a family? Like family, a child, either out of wedlock or just, do you have anyone?
No. I don't have a child. Just alone, me and myself. Nobody else.
Now let's take it back to when you are graduating from queer. The day of graduation, how was life different? Like, how differently were you looking at life back then?
On my graduation, okay, just like everybody else, I was expecting some great life after graduation, and it did. It did happen. So many people after graduation, they hustle, they struggle to get a job. I didn't hustle, I didn't struggle to get a job. I was given a job. No, I never even applied for that job. I was given a job. So I was expecting some good life. But now, right now, I work in the construction industry. So I I want to get is what we call from hand to mouth. You know, just very little money, but it's better that way than stealing.
True. Your first job at the university, were you assistant lecturer or were you full-time lecturer?
I was assistant, and I was doing part-time, you know, being given just one class. That's very little money. Just one class, very little money. I was doing part-time, and but I enjoyed it. It was good.
How much were you being paid during that time you're being employed as a part-time lecturer?
No good money. Per class, they used to pay 2,000 shillings. But anyway, it could keep me going on. It was at the end of the month, I could get something to keep me going. So I can't complain so much.
Back then, 2,000 was a lot of money though, right?
Yes, it was good money. Back then, it was good money.
Now, we are witnessing an amazing transition from being a part-time lecturer, from having to do like manual job during your time as an undergraduate student, to you being the current you now working in the construction industry where you're being paid peanut per se, right?
Yes.
Now, how did we get to this point? How did we land ourselves to this situation? How did you get yourself to a position where now you just live on hand to mouth kind of situation, actual sense, while in actual sense probably you could have been some big person in this country. You could have landed yourself a good job, since back then university graduates were highly regarded. How did we get to this point?
Well, you see, after losing my job at the college, I tried to apply for jobs which I could not get, and instead of just idling myself, I started thinking of doing something with my life. So that's how I ended up in the construction industry instead of depending on people.
True.
Yes.
True. You, at some point, you almost mentioned how you lost your job at the university, right? And maybe it wasn't clear to most of us how it happened. Can you backtrack and tell us the story in details, how it happened?
Well, like I said, we were closing the school on Friday, and this Friday is when we got back to school, and it was the closing day, and I hadn't given out my exams, and students had to close the school and go back home, you know. Some of them are foreigners, they had to travel. So because of not giving exams, that's why I got fired. Yeah, I was supposed to give my exams on Tuesday. Imagine, from Tuesday you go back to college on Friday.
I know you mentioned you were introduced to booze by one of the lecturers, one of the colleagues, right?
Yes.
Now, when you were reporting back to work, what excuse did you give to the management? Because it seems like between Tuesday and Friday, really, what excuse did you give to the management?
This is the blunder that we did, the three of us. After going to school, I went to my class, talked with the students, telling them I'm going to be fair in my marking my exams. Nobody is going to fail. So please allow me to give you exams on Saturday. Allow me to give you the exams on on Saturday. And then when I was in the class, the principal came, or chancellor, for that matter, came. So he told me, Mr. Tom, after talking with your students, can you come to the office? So I went to the office. He told me, so I found the two are also in the boardroom in the office. So I was called to go first to the office. I was asked, where have you been? I lied actually. I told him, Professor Awino got sick, so we took him to Kenyatta National Hospital. Oh, why didn't you call then to tell us, to at least to brief us the reason why you are not in college? And yes, I couldn't, we were confused, and that's why we couldn't call. So, and why didn't one of you come to report that Professor Awino is sick? We are sorry, we couldn't remember that. So that's how it happened. Then after that, I was told, I'm giving you 15 minutes. Go to the accounts and get your money, and after 15 minutes you get off this compound. So that's why.
Wait, just like that?
Just like that.
And you lost your job. Were you the only person who lost his job during that time, or the two of you were fired?
We got fired, the three of us. So when I was in the accounts, after some time, Professor Awino also came and took his money. Then another 3 minutes time, Professor Mwangi also came and took his money. So we got off the compound, the three of us, in 15 minutes time. We got off. So we came back to Rongai. Now we had money. We went back to the same place where we've been drinking. We drank the money until it was finished. So after that, then it was now, what next? Oh, what next? So Professor Awino applied for a job at Nazarene University, and he was employed at Nazarene University. And Professor Mwangi went to Rwanda, so he's working in Rwanda even up to date. Professor Awino right now is working at Rongo University. But then after we got fired, he got a job at Nazarene. So he worked there for some 2 or 3 years. Then he got another job at Rongo University. Me, I've not yet got any job. So I'm still in the construction industry.
So it seems like that system is really strict back there at Queer. Was that the first incident of misconduct from you guys, or there had been a number of misconduct from you guys as lecturers?
No, that was the first time, and the first time, and we got fired. We never were given a second chance. We just got fired for the first mistake. So we got fired just for the first mistake.
All the three of you?
The three of us.
And then you guys went back to booze, went back to the club. Now, this journey of alcohol, your struggle with alcohol, at what point did you start abusing alcohol? Your first taste of alcohol, who gave it to you? How did it happen? Where exactly did it happen?
Yes, I started abusing alcohol. Well, for the first day, that is the year 2003. That's when it started, and I have never stopped. So I would want to tell my friends that don't try alcohol. Once you try, you get addicted. That's the first pint that you try, you'll get addicted. So it's no.
Wait, who introduced you to alcohol in 2003?
That is Professor Awino and Mwangi. These two friends of mine are the ones who introduced me to booze.
So before that time, before the Professor Mwangi and Professor Awino, you never had any experiment with alcohol completely?
Yes, never before. Before that, never ever had I never had alcohol. So that was the first time that I tried it, and I got hooked up.
Such a sad situation. Here we have a junior lecturer who is just finding his way into the modern world, and then some senior lecturers messing around with his life to date, while they walk freely, while they do their different jobs because they are qualified for what they do. Not to say that this guy is not qualified, but while they enjoy all the luxuries that come with life, my friend here is still left with the struggles they left him with, not knowing where his next meal will come from. Yet, the system judged him cruel and never gave him a second chance. Quite a sad story. Yeah. With that, how do you manage to survive with this struggle as an individual? How do you manage to survive with this struggle?
Well, so to speak, it is hard. Anyway, it's hard, very, very hard. Hard indeed. Right now, the industry is oversaturated. So many people are jobless, and so getting a job in the industry, that is in the construction industry, is hard. Sometimes you go even for 3 weeks without getting a job, but you can't postpone hunger. Every day you have to eat, so it becomes very, very hard, very, very challenging indeed.
Have you ever tried any rehabilitation center, or have you ever tried any method to rectify your behavior, or has anyone ever come to your rescue in form of taking you to a rehabilitation center, or just helping you in handling the situation you're dealing with now at 45?
Not really. I've never ever gone to rehab, but if I can get some money, maybe I can go to the rehab and see what the outcome can be. But there's no money for that, so I just have to live with it. But it is my wish to stop, but I always find it hard to just stop it like that. That's why I'm saying boozing is bad.
True. It's really hard to stop that kind of habit without getting any help. And he's a gentleman who is having a degree certificate with him. A degree that has not been used for almost 20 or so years, right?
Yes, indeed.
People who can be resourceful in the community, people who can help out, but yet the community are just looking at them like they are outcasts. They are some sort of an outcast. My question is, should we continue leaving our able and skilled brains to rot and expire without having impacted the others? Or should we come up with a solution to help these people? And as we have seen, it's not an habit that he formed from his own behavior. It's an habit that he was influenced to do. He was influenced into, right? So I'm just asking, as a community, should we let them waste away, or should we come up with a way of helping such people? So, do you have anything to say as an individual in regards to community, the way it has handled your situation? Is there anything people could have done differently that could have maybe changed your life?
Yes, indeed. I think as a community, people who are struggling with such kind of life, we should have a way of helping them out, because no human being is useless. Those that we think are useless, it's just because we don't give them the opportunity to exercise what they can be able to do. So we just like they say, we God for us all, but this we leave others to struggle alone. I think if there's something that community as a community we can help those people. Not everybody that is in addiction with the drugs are very happy with their lives. Not everybody is happy with their lives, but as the community, we are failing on that side of trying to get these people out and making their lives better. We fail like as a community on that side.
As we bring this to an end, what is in case like what is your greatest heart desire at the moment?
Okay, I think first, because I'm still struggling with this life with the alcohol thing. First, I would wish that I be taken to the rehab, and after that, then we can think of what is next. That is after maybe I've stopped drinking. Then what is next is what will follow. And if there's a job, then I can do. And that is still. I have to stop drinking first. Nobody would want to give an alcoholic some job to do, because I think if you're an alcoholic, nobody can trust you with a job. So I have to stop that first, then